Welcome back. So I want you to think, how did you start the 1st of January 2025? With a lot of expectation, hopes, especially this year I want to be a chartered accountant. I will study from the beginning, right? So normally there are a lot of aspiration, and I'm sure if you have watched my introductory session, so a lot of thoughts were shared to be successful in life, career and then the exam. So now, තවත් අලුත් වැඩක්. මොකද්ද? The question that I asked when I presented now this challenge in paper advanced business reporting is a multidisciplinary subject. It deals with corporate governance. Now you can see this book, Corporate Governance, with about 157 pages, right? And then that's corporate governance. It's not only that, there are listing rules. And the latest paper has tested it, because these listing rules are also new. Some of the listing rules are applicable from October 24, for example, right? And IFRS sustainability standards were introduced and applicable from financial year 2025, right? So very hot topic. And again, applicable for the examination, right? On top of that, if you look at especially from corporate governance, about 45% of your syllabus, right? Corporate governance plus non-financial reporting, now added sustainability S1 and S2, right? This is about 15%. See, imagine in this paper scoring 15% is very, very important. In addition, this whole CFO perspective of risk, I clearly clarified this paper is not about auditing, but when you become a CFO, you have that overarching understanding about the subject and the business, right? Not just the accounting, but the bigger picture in terms of organization, governance structure, what are the risks and how these risks could eventually affect the financial statement. That is why with the syllabus syllabus kind of change done, right, about 2 years ago, this CFO perspective was brought in, and now we can see gradually after that change, even this part of the study text became open book. So this is another open book, right? And then I haven't brought financial reporting. See, all the accounting standards, ethics books. So now you are taking a big bag to the exam. Do you think with the exam pressure you can read all of these books? At the same time, some of the questions from corporate governance, you definitely need the knowledge to apply what is in the book. So therefore, it's very, very important for you to clear your book now itself. And the book is ready, you are also ready. Are you really doing that? So many recorded videos are there, but really, when a question is there, you know this is what it is and you can quickly go in. For example, are you aware that cybersecurity, risk management, even the risk management, risk committee, everything, there are a lot of changes in corporate governance. You may not be aware. So, what I thought is to support you, right? What is this? So that's about getting you to do it. So this is something that based on your interest, right? Obviously we can do, if you are not doing it, there are many recorded videos, right? You can go and watch it, but to make sure it happens specifically something that has changed significantly, the corporate governance practices, the listing rules, to really look at the holistic picture and now itself prepare for the exam. So what I thought is to do a very short sessions of really skimming through, to run through this book and then highlighting this is what is important, and now I have read the book and forget it even. That's the great thing about open book, right? You study and forget. Study, forget, no problem. Why? It's open book, right? Obviously you should not forget, but it's very important you to be able to apply what is in the book. So what I am planning to do is this series of maybe a quick 30 minutes to take one area and quickly run through to make sure that you have understood, and you can even apply in the same session to do some questions. So look at this, right? No last minute rush, right? The live sessions may be 30 minutes to take a segment and quickly complete. This is all about board of directors, the independence criteria, CEO chairman split, and so on. And then practically how Sri Lankan companies have adapted to these changes and how listing rule connects. And that overall knowledge, do you have it? So that's why learn new corporate governance code from A to Z with listing rule and apply them in case study. So this is a series of short sessions that I want to do so that with limited time you learn a lot. So that's our plan. And then obviously when the session is live, you can just live join and make sure that you learn it. Right, that's the session series, that's our plan. So remember my message, always think, if you want to pass the exam, think like an examiner. So examiner, when examiner is setting the paper, look at the LO, learning outcomes, and you have to learn the LO and write the answer. If you do all of these three from now, you can be the prize winner, right? So that's why I'm saying it's not just to settle with 50 marks, but to learn. So what we will be doing in these short sessions to really navigate the book and look at from past papers angle how to apply these concepts, and make sure that you have read the book, because most of the past paper questions are from corporate governance code and how you apply the code. So then really in the latest paper these listing rules were tested. And same way we can run through IFRS S1 and S2, which is really a new subject. Again live, let's take the book and make sure that you understand and apply. Highlight ready, and I don't worry, now book is read. There is no last minute rush, right? So then that's about it. And I get ready with, right? So just to tell you that when we start doing these sessions, right, you will see a lot of changes in the listing rules. That's a big thing, because after a long time listing rules were changed to this level. The whole corporate governance section of the listing rule has been changed. And now because of that, some companies are changing, even some of the board members, and trying to make sure that they are aligned into corporate governance code, which you need to aware. So remember that memorizing this book is not the case. Practically, when I do these sessions, I look at these companies and say, this is what they have done it, right? This is how they have applied it. So just to look at, you see, with the listing rule, they have introduced new policies. For example, there are series of policies that the company need to have, right? And these are listing rules, right? Then specifically when CEO chair duality, same person is acting as CEO and chairman, the additional requirement on SID, senior independent director, what is it? What does it mean? And then look at more specifically, they have said minimum number of directors. So every board, at least there should be 5 members, right? And then minimum independent directors, at least 2 independent directors, so 1/3. This is listing rule. But when it comes to CA code principle A5, at least it says you need to have 3 non-executive directors, right? So likewise, you need to really reconcile and see, because listing rule has to be met. So these rules, how you learn and not only apply, right? So what I want to know when we do this session is not just, we can quickly navigate the book and then apply that as we do. So let me, okay, now this is the book. Now when I do these sessions, get the book. The book is with you, run through, right? To make sure that you quickly understand. Now I will show you for now the most important page. If anybody wants to now learn what is new in corporate governance code, you just go to this page and make sure you are well aware about the key changes that have happened, right? In particular, the board balance. Now read this paragraph. It says board balance, non-executive directors not considered independent. This independent criteria, there is a change. What is that change, right? It says that now there are some companies, if you read this, right, if now the person is not independent, if there are variable remuneration, right? Remuneration which is variable, fixed salary, that is understood. Then it says determination of a director being independent notwithstanding the existence of relationship and circumstances which indicate contrary should only be in respect of independent director who has served on the board exceeding 9 years. Appointment of the senior independent director when the chairman is. It's a very, very long paragraph. No, what is the essence of that? You know, some companies, they justify saying that the independent criteria are not met. But however, this director is independent. You can't say that. The only place where you can say if director who is truly independent, you know, after time, director may not be independent after 9 years, right? So now let us say director has worked 11 years, but he has no relationship, he is truly independent, fine. That is the only case company can justify the 9 year, but not any other thing. But when you just read it, you may not understand. That's where these are tricky points. And I will show you how practically companies are dealing with this. And that is really learning corporate governance in the real corporate governance world, to be able to apply. Exam, you can really, you know how to approach it and write the answer. So simple, I'll show you how question can be very simply answered. But remember, don't take this as a simple thing for you to make sure you learn it. Any question can be answered, right? For example, things like risk committee is really new. Look at as you go down. So there are new sections on risk management. These committees, cybersecurity risk management is a new segment, and introduction of risk committee. The whole process of risk identification, classification, risk culture, appetite, risk rating. Now these are risk management, even risk management in corporate governance. An examiner may test. So be aware, right? That's where, because anyway your subject is a CFO perspective of risk and how it connects to the COSO framework and so on. So likewise, learning has to be very interested in how it connects to other areas. So the first thing that we cover now in this short 10-minute session is to know changes, right? So 2023 Corporate Governance Code, there are changes to independent criteria, and there are changes to board appointment, composition of the nomination committee, and how do we appraise board of directors performance. Disclosures, of course, simply the certain disclosures relating to directors remuneration, right? And then audit committee, this is a big change. Now you see, they specifically say if you want to be audit committee chair, you need to be a recognized professional accountant. You need to have that qualification. Wow, that's good for you, no? Because now there are some audit committee chairmen, they may not be qualified. Now according to this, they need to be qualified, and you are probably in future fit to be audit committee chair, right? If you acquire that experience. Then risk management and internal control guidance added to ensure that the company carries robust risk assessment to identify risk. So there are a lot, as I told you, the section on risk management has been revamped, and there are some changes on related party transaction review committee, even classification of key management personnel, there are changes. And then like IFRS sustainability, this section of sustainability risk and opportunity has also been changed, right? And then cybersecurity risk management is additional area, and there are many schedules that they have added as a guideline, even risk metrics and various other things. So, lot of changes. Don't worry. That is the purpose of this session, to quickly navigate very quickly. For example, if I want to cover one day in half an hour this section about the board, maybe we can do one picture and cover all of this, what is there, and make sure that is done and highlighted, done and dusted, done. So that's the end of this session. Make sure that you learn as you go along. If exam is tomorrow, without taking leave, even you are able to pass the exam. There is no pressure, and you know you will definitely reach there, the success. Thank you.